So here's a weird little thought for today based on some really interesting conversations that I've had over the last couple of days. And that is, do you think of yourself as an animal in the animal kingdom, as part of the world that we've created versus the natural world? And the reason that's really sort of running around my head at the minute is loads of the pendulum physio patients that we've been looking after. Wonderful and interesting questions and conversations coming up. I, as a physio, take a very special interest in reading books about human anthropology or evolutionary biology, because it really informs how we look at the human body and how we look after pain, injury, rehabilitation, performance, all those kinds of things. So my thought processes involve looking at anatomy in a certain way based on where we come from as a species and where we are now as modern humans. But I think this topic spreads into so many aspects of our life. Like having a conversation earlier today with somebody who's been really dealing with a lot of stress. And that stress has been manifesting in some physical problems in terms of headaches and migraines and jaw issues and teeth grinding and shoulder stuff and back stuff going on. And there's obviously things that we can do as physios to help those people, but I can't intervene in somebody's life and just switch off their stress. They have to find methods in their own life. But we stumbled into this conversation about like going on walks, and I think there's a big difference between getting your step count up in an urban environment, a concrete jungle, and getting away into nature. And I was speaking a little bit about how our DNA is ancient and our modern world is very new, and how our brains are wired to expect to see a lot of green and a lot of blue skies and green rolling hills and forests, and the natural world that for tens of thousands of years, maybe hundreds of thousands of years, that our human biology has been programmed to live in and to see. And then in just the last few hundred years, we have started to give it grey, just grey concrete buildings. And even if we make a really good effort to be on the treadmill and get our step count up, which is good, of course, there are so many things about how we live now that misses nature and misses kind of the organic natural world that we expect to see. So that was one little conversation today that really sort of tapped into that thought process of we are an ancient human animal that comes from the lineage of our other ape cousins. And when you think about things like Homo erectus to Homo sapien, and even we all carry a little bit of Neanderthal DNA. But then we're sitting in cars, we're sitting on sofas, we're going to bed at night, and these aren't very natural habits and behaviors. But then I also have a daily problem with people who overcompensate the other way, and they go down the rabbit hole of fallacy to nature. And fallacy to nature is abandoning everything that you perceive to be non-natural and non-organic. And one of the classic examples is people who make the reasoning mistake. It's a flaw in their logic, and it's a breakdown of their reasoning to think things like, well, big pharma's out to get us all. Big pharma wants to keep us sick. Medical science has had a bigger intervention in human well-being than anything else. You skip back just a few hundred years, and life expectancy and life quality was extremely low, and now it's extremely high, and medical science is probably the main driver of that in terms of health. So on the one hand, I'm a huge advocate of nature and living in nature as the animal that we are, but also scientific and technological innovation has led to amazing treatments, amazing diagnoses, amazing scans, amazing drugs that are really, really helpful. And abandoning all of that as being bad because nature good, that's something that people do as well. Something stupid that you shouldn't allow your brain to go down that rabbit hole. So all things with balance, all things in context. Medicine is good, but nature is also good. So